Well, with Nat Fyfe and Nat, you have a pretty significant announcement to make to the Fremantle members and supporters.
Yeah, I've just let our players and staff know that I'll be stepping aside as captain, stepping down from the leadership group and allowing the club to choose their next captain.
Can you talk us through the driving factors behind the decision?
Last year was a challenging year for me individually, but a great year for the club, and it just started to pave the way for a potential transition. I was really transparent with the other leaders, Peter Bell, Justin Longmuir and Garlo, in trying to get to a position where we could really swing off me stepping aside and the next captain coming through. And over the last couple of weeks that sort of came to a head where intuitively I knew and we knew that it was an exciting opportunity for the club for me to step aside and let someone else come through.
And you've made the call to step away from the leadership group. How important is that for you to be able to completely step back?
Yeah, I've got a real challenge in front of me, learning my forward craft again, working with Jamie Graham, Sonny Walters and the other forwards in trying to learn that craft again. And it's no small challenge. It's one I'm really excited about. But by stepping away completely from the leadership group, it allows me to detach and focus all my energy on helping our other forwards and learning my craft again. And also allow someone else to step into the leadership group potentially and give us that fresh push of leadership which will propel us forward.
Telling the playing group and the lead up into that, talk us through how that felt.
It was tough, mate. It was been sort of something I've known for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I let a few of the senior players know and a few of the staff that I'm really close to. And it just took a while for the emotions and my mind to line up with my intuition. It feels like I was letting go of a dream in some ways, but once I connected with that feeling that it opens the possibility for so much more. Yeah, it was a big moment, and speaking in front of the group there, I felt the support in the room, and I'm just quite optimistic about what this transition could potentially do for the club.
Clearly you played a vital role in leading the club through a rebuild and back into finals in 2022. I'm sure that must be a really proud feeling to have helped guide that team along that right path.
Definitely, mate. It's easy to look at what you didn't achieve. But when I took over from sort of Dave and Matthew Pavlich in 2017, we had like a number of rocky years ahead. We were transitioning our list. We invested heavily in talent, but we copped a lot of beatings. I remember losing down in Geelong, the biggest loss ever for the club. And as a captain, I felt like that took years off my life because it was just quite a stressful experience to have so much expectation and to really feel the burden of that loss so heavily. So stepping aside as captain at a time where we feel like we're in a position to really have an impact at the pointy end of the season, I think there's real pride in that for me, and that I've always led best when times are toughest. And now I get an opportunity to lead not from the front but from the shadows, where I feel like I do some of my best work.
It's been touched on the wealth of leadership amongst the group. It must be a really exciting prospect to just have that support base around you over the last 6 years, and how much has grown with that young crop coming.
Definitely, yeah. I've always seen one of the key responsibilities for me as a captain was to develop other leaders and to know when the right time was to step aside to allow the next captain to come through at a time when the club could really get momentum from that. And we have that now. We have that breadth of leadership, that richness of different options, which clubs that are competing in finals have. And I feel like we are in a position now where we've got that.
In a captaincy, I'm sure it's got plenty of rewards and challenges along the way. Is there a moment or two that stands out for you in both of those categories?
The rewards are just seeing the players develop in front of your eyes. Our whole leadership group at the moment started their careers living at my place. Andy, Caleb and Alex all lived with me for different periods of time, as did Hayden Young and about 5 or 6 others. And so to watch them develop in their careers and develop in their leadership and to feel a small part of that is, I guess, the most rewarding thing as a senior player and as a leader for sure.
6 seasons in charge, the second longest serving captain of this club. Does being a club captain sit pretty high amongst your other individual accolades?
It does. It's a responsibility more than an accolade. and particularly when it's voted by the players, to have them look to you as their leader is a huge responsibility, comes with a lot of expectation, but provides real opportunity for growth as a human and as a leader. And I feel like I've, over 6 years, have learnt so many lessons. I role modelled off some of the great leaders that we've had previously, and Matthew Pavlich, David Mundy, Aaron Sandilands, Luke McFarlane, and I hopefully will continue to be a resource for our next captain and our leaders for years to come.